And in our top business story, the UAE is hiring a team of tax experts as well as setting up a federal tax authority that will be in charge of collecting levies when the value-added tax is introduced from the beginning of 2018. According to reports by Bloomberg, the Ministry of Finance is advertising somewhere in the region of 30 positions for the new tax authority on its website, including a compliance and enforcement director, auditors, analysts, accountants and administrators. The report assessed that a sharp decline in oil prices has forced the GCC bloc to change their stance on taxation in an attempt to increase revenue collection. In January this year, Yunus Haji Al Khouri, the UAE Minister of Finance Under Secretary, said the UAE expects to generate about $2.7 billion to $3.27 billion from VAT in the first year of implementation. Sectors such as healthcare, education, social services and 94 different food items would be exempted. The IMF estimates the UAE will post a budget deficit of 3.9% of economic output this year, wider than 2015's 2.1% after it booked a surplus of 5% in 2014. 3 Dubai companies have been named among the top 5 developers of the tallest buildings in the world. Emaar Properties is listed as the #1 developer in the world, with Emirates and Thamir Holding placing 5th on the list released by the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat on its website. The Dubai Financial Market listed company is the developer of 828-meter Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest tower, and it has recently commenced work on the 928-meter The Tower in Dubai Creek Harbour development, which is scheduled for completion in 2020. Though the list does not mention the towers owned by Emirates and Thamir, the former is the developer of the 355-meter JW Marriott Marquis Hotel Dubai, the world's tallest hotel towers, while the latter has built the 414-meter Princess Tower, the world's tallest residential building. Sharing the first place with Emaar is China's Greenland Group, while Hong Kong-based companies Sun Hong Kai Properties Limited and The Wharf Holdings Limited take the 3rd place. Dubai also beats New York, Shenzhen and Hong Kong in the list of cities hosting tallest towers, with the Emirate home to 15 tallest towers compared to 7 each in New York and Shenzhen and 5 in Hong Kong. Companies in the UAE are being warned that the sort of massive cyber attack which blocked some of the world's most popular websites over the weekend could be used to target regional businesses and governments. On Friday, millions of web users in the United States and Europe were left unable to view popular websites, including Twitter, PayPal, Amazon, Netflix, and the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, after hackers took over hundreds of thousands of common internet-enabled devices and used them to bombard the sites with spam data. With these type of cyber attacks gaining increasing prominence, experts in the Middle East are warning local-based companies and government organizations that in the UAE especially, we are seeing a lot of new devices being used as consumers look to control all sorts of things, including lighting, cooling, even their fridges from their smartphones. According to local reports, security experts have stated that anything with an IP address can be infected by malware, and these devices often have generic passwords which hackers can easily guess. According to figures from Kaspersky Security, an average of 17.4% of users in the Middle East encountered cyber threats originating from the internet in the 3rd quarter of 2016. The countries with the highest percentage of users affected by these threats were Qatar at 24.4%, the UAE at 22.8%, Kuwait at 20.1%, Saudi Arabia at 17.9%, and Egypt at 17.1%. At the same time, an average of 47% of users in the region encountered malware that spread in local networks via USBs and storage disks.